Now, let's have a look at nested ifs. Now, as you can see with our else if, we are nesting our logic just one level deep. We're saying if this, do this, else this, do this. Now with a nested if, we can go down to a more detailed level. Let's have a look at an example. So first of all, we have if surname equals Smith, we're going to write something out. Well, at this point, with the nested if, we can say if forename equals John. Else we can say, ooh, you're so close. And then we end this if block with this line of code. So let's pretty it up and go through it. So we have our first if statement. If surname equals Smith. Then, instead of writing out you've won a car, we're nesting another if statement, saying if forename equals John. Now for completeness, just noticed I haven't created forename, so let's stick that in there. Okay, so if forename equals John, you've won a car. Else, oh, you are so close. So we are checking two logical expressions. To win a car, you've got to have a name of Smith, and you've got to have a forename of John. And then for each if statement, we close it with a corresponding end if. Now you are not limited just to nesting, down to 2 levels. You can go on to your heart's content. You could do a 3rd level. And if we pretty it up, it should indent it for us. So you could have something else. So if the surname is Smith, forename is John, and then, another field here. Location, UK. I know we haven't defined it as a field, but you get the idea. We can keep embedding logic like this until it meets all the criteria for your program. And you don't always have to nest if statements one after another, just like in this case. We could have a bunch of statements here, a bunch of statements here, some more statements, some more statements at this point. So going back to when we started this exercise, we're looking at, we define our control structure, we then execute some code, then we close our control structure. So the code that we execute can be anything at all. Writing, reading from database tables, more logical statements, such as the embedded if. You can introduce loops, call function modules, anything you can think of. And that's really it for the if statement. That's the structure. You have the if, you have the else if, you have the else, and then the end if to close off the block. And you can nest if statements and other logic statements as deep as you wish. So the if statement analyzes a logical expression. And like any other programming language, we are not just limited to an equal. We can use any logical expression. We can use the equal, not equal, less than, greater than. the or, the and, the not, and so on. So let's have a look at some of those and see how they are written in ABAP.